We very rarely do this, but I want you to see some tape tonight, just because I want you to know that it exists. We have been researching the story of this tape all day today, and as far as we can tell, we don't think there is any precedent for it in American history. We don't think there is any precedent for the spouse of a sitting Supreme Court justice being engaged in political activism to the extent that the wife of Associate Justice Clarence Thomas is doing right now, and of which we have tape. In general, the family member of a Supreme Court justice would not be somebody whose activities would be considered inherently newsworthy. Same goes, at least as far as I'm concerned, for politicians' families, unless they get themselves involved in politics. But I don't know of anybody else who has ever held the job title Supreme Court Justice while their spouse has been a very public national activist like this. So, noted without further comment, just so you know it's true, Clarence Thomas's wife, Ginny Thomas.
Thank you so much. You guys are a gorgeous crowd. Can I just say thank you for coming to this wet and wicked city, despite the lies from the other side, despite the intimidation. You are America's political first responders, and we thank you for coming out. You are so powerful and so mighty that George Soros has had to spend billions and millions of dollars to try to counter the real grassroots movement that you are building in the last 20 months.
I've been living and working in the Washington, D.C. area for 30 years, and I'm here to tell you a couple of things that they're not going to tell you. First of all is they're scared to death of you. From you. You know what's cool? We don't have to ride around Boston at midnight on horses, do we? We can stay in the comfort of our home, find each other, cause a little bit of trouble, get our voices heard, and get better and better, and we're going to save this country. Let me tell you, there's a war going on, and Washington wants to make it look real complicated, real technical. It's not so complicated. It's not so technical. We have got to stop this, you guys. This is not just a game. This is the biggest thing that has ever happened. And let me say, everyday citizens have stuck their feet in the ground and planted a flag in the ground and stopped tyranny before. And every generation has its time, and I guess this is our time because we're all feeling pulled to the front lines.
Thank you so much. Can I just say, if something happens in Washington, my husband and I are heading to Texas. What we're doing at libertycentral.org is equipping citizen leaders to lobby for liberty. And so my husband and I do really different things, by the way, but there was a tornado over our wedding when we got married. God knew that we were both troublemakers coming together. So I do policy, he does law, and I don't understand that world, and I'm glad God didn't tell me to do that because I don't know how to do that. But thank you all for what you do. From the front lines, I'm telling you, we need your help. We're at risk of losing the country. We have 61 days to put the brakes on this train that's heading for the cliff. And they thought we weren't going to wake up in time, but they were wrong. Join me.
They're scared to death of you. Cheers. There's a war going on against tyranny. We're at risk of losing the country. Ginny Thomas is married to Clarence Thomas, who has a lifetime appointment as a justice of the United States Supreme Court. And other than that, we are noting that without comment.